The truth no one wants to hear. 99% of people will live an ordinary life, delayed dreams, ready-made excuses, endless waiting followed by silent regret. Only 1%. Create impact, create wealth, create influence, create stories worth telling. The question isn't, are you smart? Are you lucky? Do you have connections? The real question is, how do you think? How do you act? How do you respond to pain, to failure, to time itself? The gap between the 99% and the 1% is not talent, it's daily decisions. Today, this is not empty motivation, not believe in yourself talk. Today, you get 5 brutal tests. Clear signals. If you recognize yourself in them, you'll know exactly where you stand, but be warned. Some of these may hurt. And the first one reveals your relationship with comfort. 1. Your relationship with comfort predicts your future. The 99% chase comfort. The 1% chase growth. When faced with 2 choices, sit or work, scroll or learn, sleep more or wake up early, what do you choose most of the time? Comfort isn't evil, but addiction to comfort is deadly. The 99% ask, is this hard? If yes, they avoid it. The 1% ask, will this make me better? If yes, they lean in, even afraid. Gyms are empty at dawn. Libraries are quiet at night. Entertainment venues, always full. The difference is simple, but decisive. Look at your day. How often do you pick easy over important? The 1% know one powerful truth. Temporary pain beats permanent regret. If you run from anything uncomfortable, you drift with the crowd. But there's a harsher test than comfort, a test that exposes you when you fall. That's where the real separation happens. 2. What do you do when you fail? Everyone is motivated at the start. Everyone is confident on day 1. But what happens when you lose, when you're rejected, when you fail publicly? The 99% say, this isn't for me. The odds are against me. Bad luck, and they stop. The 1% ask, what did this teach me? Where did I go wrong? How do I come back stronger? Failure is an ending for the 99%. Failure is training for the 1%. The difference isn't how many times you fall, it's how many times you rise. Behind every success story are dozens of invisible failures. But the 1% share a different mindset. They don't tie their identity to outcomes, they tie it to effort. If you fail today, do you hide or do you try again immediately? That single answer can shape your entire future. But even if you stand back up, something more dangerous can pull you back into the 99%. Something related to time. 3. How you spend time reveals who you are. Money can return. Opportunities can reappear. But time, once gone, it's gone forever. The 99% consume time, the 1% invest it. Ask yourself honestly, how many hours do you scroll? How many hours complaining? How many hours comparing yourself to others? Then ask a harsher question. How many hours building yourself? The 1% have ruthless awareness of time. Every day either moves them forward or pushes them back. They don't say, I have time. They say, how do I use it? They don't wait for motivation. They act without it. If your day were a movie, would it be inspiring or repetitive? Time exposes your true identity, not what you say, but what you repeatedly do. Yet there's a hidden force that can steal your time without you even noticing. And it has everything to do with people. 4. Who influences you? You are the average of the 5 people closest to you. If they complain, you complain. If they mock ambition, you shrink your dreams. The 99% stay with those who feel familiar. Sameness feels safe. The 1% seek those who challenge them, those who raise their standards, those who make them feel like beginners again. Observe your environment. Does it pull you upward or anchor you in place? The voices you hear daily become the voice inside your head. If your inner voice is weak, upgrade your surroundings. But even if you choose strong people, use your time wisely. Handle failure well. One final test remains, the hardest one of all. A test that exposes your true intention, your deepest identity. And that's what we'll reveal in part 2. 5. What do you do when no one is watching? This is the ultimate test. Not what you post, not what you say, not what you promise, what you do in silence. The 99% perform for attention. The 1% prepare in private. When there is no deadline, no reward, no recognition. Do you still show up? The 99% need pressure to act. The 1% create their own pressure. They don't wait for exams to study. They don't wait for problems to save money. They don't wait for crisis to change. They act early, quietly, consistently, because they understand something powerful. Your future is built when no one is clapping. Great bodies are built in empty gyms. Great minds are built in quiet rooms. Great fortunes are built in invisible years. Ask yourself honestly, who are you when nobody is watching? Do you drift, or do you build? Do you escape, or do you execute? Because one day, the results will become visible, and by then, it will be too late to pretend. But even knowing all 5 methods means nothing without one final realization. A realization that separates dreamers from doers. So how to actually become the 1%? Knowing the difference between the 99% and the 1% is not enough. Awareness without action changes nothing. So here are not theories, not quotes, not motivation. These are practical rules. If you live by them, you won't chase the 1%. You will slowly become it. And the first rule changes everything. Tip 1. Master one valuable skill. The 99% dabble. The 1% specialize. Average people try a little of everything. Experts dominate one thing. You don't need 10 skills. You need one skill that the world values highly, something rare, something useful, something difficult to replace. Because income follows value. Influence follows mastery. Opportunity follows excellence. Choose something that compounds: technology, communication, leadership, sales, engineering, medicine, creation. Then go deep, very deep. Practice when others stop. Study what others ignore. Refine what others rush. Mastery is boring, repetitive, lonely. That's why so few reach it, but once you do, doors open silently. Yet skill alone isn't enough. Many talented people remain stuck because they lack the second rule. Tip 2. Build extreme discipline. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is unstoppable. The 99% act when they feel like it. The 1% act regardless of feelings. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They don't need external pressure. They built internal command. Discipline means doing the work when it's boring, continuing when it's hard, showing up when no one expects you to. At first, discipline feels like prison. Later, it becomes freedom, because a disciplined person controls their life. An undisciplined one is controlled by impulses. But discipline needs fuel. Without direction, you just become busy. Which leads to the third rule. Tip 3. Obsess over long-term thinking. The 99% chase quick rewards. The 1% build delayed outcomes. They are willing to look behind today to dominate tomorrow. Saving instead of spending. Learning instead of entertaining. Building instead of showing off. They play a different game. The compound game. Small improvements, repeated for years, produce massive results. Health compounds, skills compound, money compounds, reputation compounds, but only if you stay consistent. Ask yourself daily, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, be careful how much time you give it. Yet long-term thinking requires courage, because progress is invisible at first, and most people quit during the invisible phase. Which brings us to the fourth rule. Tip 4. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth lives outside comfort. The 99% build walls to protect comfort. The 1% build tolerance for discomfort. They volunteer for hard tasks. They speak when nervous. They try when uncertain. They move before they feel ready. Because they understand, confidence comes after action, not before. Every uncomfortable situation is a training session. Public speaking, networking, negotiation, leadership, responsibility. Each one expands your capacity. Avoid discomfort, and your world shrinks. Embrace discomfort, and your world expands. But even courage and discipline can fail without one final ingredient, the most underrated advantage of the 1%. Tip 5. Protect your mind relentlessly. Your mind is your command center. If it's weak, everything collapses. The 99% consume whatever appears. News, drama, negativity, comparison. The 1% curate input carefully. They ask, is this helping me grow or draining me? They limit noise, avoid toxic circles, reduce pointless consumption. Instead, they feed their mind with knowledge, perspective, high standards, constructive ideas. Because your thoughts become your actions become your habits become your life. Guard your attention like your future depends on it. Because it does. The truth about the 1%. Becoming the 1% is not about status. It's about ownership. Owning your time, your choices, your growth, your direction. No one promotes you into the 1%. No one invites you. No one hands you permission. You build it quietly, day after day, choice after choice. Until one day, your life looks completely different from the crowd you started with. And the most powerful realization, anyone can begin. Not tomorrow, not next year, today, right now. Because the distance between the 99% and the 1% is simply the decisions most people refuse to make.